Good morning. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I'll watch it for a little bit here.
All right.
I gotta get to work.
See how it goes.
All right. Bye.
Good morning, Patriots. I'm Mandy, the Awakened Patriot. Mike's not going to be playing with us today, so I posted the link. So if you want to get on and talk with us today, you totally can. I'm learning all this stuff. I'm kind of a ding-ding when it comes to technology. Good morning, Robert. How are you? Thanks for being with me this morning. I don't know if I have a whole lot to say today. I am absolutely wiped out. I had a very, very long evening at work. Totally kicked my butt for sure. Still recovering. It's been a party. Yesterday was a good day. There was a lot of dialogue. And I'm gonna try my best to not drag it out all morning long. That was a long show yesterday, almost 2 hours. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. Oh my gosh. Still beat me up for sure. Been watching some videos this morning of people rising up and standing up and fighting for us as people and our nation, and I think that's what it's going to take. We talked about it yesterday about how do we get others to listen? How do we get others to pay attention to the truth of what's going on in the world? Good morning.
Good morning.
One of those days you have a hard hat on.
Yep. So the link works. So you're good to go. I pulled it right out of the chat. So
thank you.
You're good to go. Good to go. So I hope everyone watching, if you guys want to call in and talk to Mandy, do so. She's fun to talk to. Just hit that link and she'll bring you in. You guys can have a chat. But I got to get back to work. Just wanted to say good luck this morning. Love you guys and have fun.
All right. Have a good day. Don't work too hard. All right. Bye. All right. Have you seen the video of the X Factor winner disclosure of Freemasons? I have not watched the video, but I do know what you're talking about. I have not watched the video, and I'm probably definitely going to have to watch it. You're welcome to call in, Robert, and talk about it. Oh, can you hear my dog? He doesn't like to get too far away from me. All right, I'm going to go grab my dog before he tears my door down. I will be right back. Time out. All right. Thank you for holding. Yeah, I think he literally body slams the door, like takes a run and just slams into it. And I thought, yeah, he's gonna break the door in if he keeps doing that. I have not watched the X Factor video. I'm gonna have to look it up. 5 hours long? I'm gonna have to, let me write it down so that I know what to look for. I did see that, and I think that's why I didn't watch the video, because I thought 5 hours, that's a long time. That's a long time. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I just haven't watched it personally, and I will totally check it out. I was watching David Icke, an interview with David Icke yesterday. That was that was eye-opening myself. It was pretty eye-opening. I'm gonna have to do some dictation on it because it was a interview with a personality from Russia. So through it was being translated, and so I thought I'm going to have to dictate it, and just how we've kind of been programmed, not kind of, how we've been programmed and how it's been done, and how us as human beings function, and how it, like, if you're not collectively, we're not in a group, if we're not collectively together, and there's a standout that stands out and stands up for something different, we go against them. Like, you don't believe what we believe, therefore you're the enemy, you've been shunned. You know, that's through religion, that's through all of those things. And it was so telling, and it made a lot of sense about what we're going through right now. How, and we were talking yesterday about how we, hi Shane, good morning. Hi Becca, hello from Texas. I've been to Texas once, and Waco is where I went in 1995. And it was a blast. My cousin was getting married, and so we went and hung out there. It was my first plane ride of my life, and it was a blast. So we were talking about how we talk to others. How do we speak to them to help them wake up? And good morning, El Griswold. How I learned and how it worked for me was I had questions. So I'm thinking maybe that's a good way to get people to communicate and talk, is or to think about things, is ask it in questions. Like, what about this? Yeah, but what about that? Like, what about the censorship of therapies for this pandemic? You know, it was all scary, and they were blocking them and shutting them down. And come to Houston, I did love it. It was absolutely beautiful in Texas. It is hot, humidity. That was my first experience with humidity. I thought, whoa, it felt like I was breathing through a hot wet sock is what it felt like. I was like, whoa. That is it was definitely a different feeling. And yeah, humidity, you just have to get used to it. You just have to get used to it. That sweaty, you always feel sweaty. Even if you shower, you still feel like you never got dry, kind of thing. You guys are used to it. It doesn't bother you, but from us desert livers, we definitely feel it. Just like you feel it when you come to dry climates. I'm sure it just feels like your skin's drying up and you're cracking. And yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, Liberty's not with us today. I mean, he's busy. He's going on to be on another show with Mr. Jeff Riddle. Whether you can wear, kind of, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. And I have naturally curly hair, so anybody who lives in humidity with curly hair understands what that does to us. Yeah, it's that's usually why I have my hair pulled up. I don't like it in my face. But like I was saying, like, I think that's the best way to, maybe that's the best way to communicate with others about what's going on, is just asking questions. Just ask them questions. What do you think of this? Yeah, but what do you think of that? Because it actually makes them think. It actually puts them in a space of thinking about something, not just in a space of defense, and we're just bombarding them with all the information that we have. You know, it kind of gives them a space to make their own decision, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but there's a lot, and I think things are happening. I think it's Jeffrey, hello to all from Columbia, Kentucky. I love that people from all over. That's just fantastic. I'm gonna have to, once things settle down a little bit, I'm gonna have to go check some of these places out. I've always wanted to go to Louisiana for sure. And I've been through South Dakota, Wisconsin, been in all those areas on a road trip with my mom 20 years ago, and it was an absolute blast. I loved it. So I'm getting ready to take my husband and my son and my nephew on a trip that way here in a couple of weeks, and I think it'll be fun because I've seen some of the cool things, and I don't think they've never left here. Pretty much just stay home. But my son wants to explore. He wants to see the world for sure. He's a little rebel. That is, it is in his DNA for sure. And I was just thinking about how we've all been waking up, and, kind of waking up and understanding the programming and the matrix that we live in. And questions that I've had about that is just through all of this learning and all of that kind of stuff, it just puts me in a space of thinking, like, why do we have to do what our families have always done? We live just like my parents do. We live just like my grandparents did, their parents before them. And I started questioning that kind of stuff. Why do we always have to, what is this? What is that matrix paradigm that we all live in, where we all do the same thing? You grow up, you go to school, you're out for summer, you get a job, you graduate from high school, and your graduation ceremonies are exactly the same as they've always been every year. If you go to a graduation every year, it's the exact same thing it was when we graduated 25 years ago or 40 years ago, or, it's always the same. You got to go to college, you got to get a good job, you got to, everything's in this pattern. And why, and I thought, why do we all live like that? Why? Because that's just what you do. So when I have conversations with my son, who is 15 years old, so you can imagine the teenage years and questions, and he's kind of always been that kid that's pushed against the grain of, like, yeah, but why? Why do I have to do it just like you guys did it? Like, why do I have to do what you guys do? And waking up from the matrix and trying not to raise and guide my son in the programming that I've grown up with, which is not a bad thing. I love my life. I have a beautiful, nice, beautiful life. But good morning, shepherd of the forest. And trying to have that open dialogue and still being in my programming of, but this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what we've always done. I don't know how to teach you any other way. And he's just kind of that rebel that's like, yeah, but it just doesn't work for me. It just, I think it's all BS. And so we're working on being a parent and a kid and trying to guide him and let him be who he is and find his way in life and let him make mistakes, because as parents, you want to protect them from all that. You don't want them to, suffer and struggle, but they have to make mistakes. That's where we learn our biggest and best lessons is, when we screw up. That's how you do it. And so my husband and I both, my husband's more, the traditional guy, he's kind of, let's stick with the tradition, let's not rock the boat. And me, I'm kind of like in the middle of going, yeah, but I'm trying to honor my husband and my way of being and embracing my son's way of being. And he's always been a little bit of a rebel when it comes to that. I mean, the kid through school, like we've always struggled with him in school, because he just, everything that they teach him, he's just like, tell me what I need to know, I'll do the work, leave me the hell alone and let me do it. And and then he's bored of what they're teaching him. He's very, 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 very smart. When he was a kid, the things that he was drawn to and learned, it was like, so when he got into actual school, he was so advanced in the things that were interesting to him. So going back to, colors and blocks and numbers, he was just like, what a waste of my time. You people are driving me insane. And And then, you know, you have those teachers are like, oh, your child has issues. He needs to be medicated. And we've always refused. We've always refused that crap. Like, it's never going to happen. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He just thinks completely outside of the box, and he's not eating this programming thing. He's just always kind of been a rebel, and with our programming, and, you know, living in that matrix, you know, we're trying to guide him like, no, you got to do what everybody else is doing, because that's what we did and that's what our parents did. So that's just what you do. It just will get so much easier for you if you just follow suit. And he's just like, ain't happening, not doing it. And he's so like, he owns his truth when it comes to that kind of thing. And it's kind of brilliant. It's pretty inspiring to watch him. And, you know, maybe he'll be a leader. Maybe he's one of those leaders. I was watching a video this morning that how a leader is, and it was such a beautiful, fun light. It was in such a beautiful, fun light. There's a guy, I'm assuming, at a music festival, and he is just dancing like he could care less. He was dancing as wild and as crazy as he could, all by himself, out in the middle of this field, people all around, but he's just by himself, just making a complete fool of himself. And it was just brilliant. And then another gentleman joined him. Like, this is fun. And they totally accepted each other. They were on the set like, hey, dude, we're buddies here. And just dance. And they were having so much fun. And then more people joined. And they're dancing. And then everybody started coming and joining this. Just this so much, just living free and dancing and loving life. And they're talking about that's how that movement starts. It takes one leader to get out there, put their neck on the line, you know, make a complete fool of themselves if that's the case, and others will follow you. Others will follow that lead. When Mr. T mentions the invisible enemy, what do you think he's really referring to? And remember, he pointed up to the sky and said, they want this. Robert, you're going to make me have to go on. You're going to have to make me expose some of my thinking. I've been, answer me this. Do you ever listen? Oh, what's his name? So, Robert, do you ever listen to David Wilcox? Shepherd of the Forest. Yes, my love, you have to. You are so, just watching the things you do and how you speak and embrace your greatness, love. I think you are one of those leaders, because we've been taught that you don't want to be a standout. You don't want to be the, you know, we've been convinced that if you break away from the mold, you're bad or wrong or stupid or, you know, all those lovely little words that keep us from branching out. We're just like, we don't want to be the one that stands out. We don't want to be that one that, you know, everybody thinks is a fool. We're scared to make fools of ourselves. A fool away, love. Go for it. I can see it in your messaging that you are dying to just break free and do it. To just break free and do it. What do we have to lose? Us being that way has got us where we are right now. So now's the time to just cut loose, live it. Who gives a rat's ass? We're tired of being in that. We're just so put in a little box, and they put us in that little box. They put us there. I don't want to play like that anymore. I'm done letting them dictate who I am and where I'm going to be and how I'm going to be in this world, because we're exactly where we're at right now in our world and our nation, because we've all played that way. And that's exactly how they want us to play. That's exactly where they want us to be. Robert Stiegel, did you ask? I asked you a question. Have you ever heard of David Wilcox? I have a feeling that you have. Yeah, Shepherd, you're smart. You're smart, and I think you're a leader. Thank you, Shepherd. I try to be in tune with the world, and just in the past, I would say the last few years. Thank you, as El Griswold. You guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate you. Robert, yes. And yes, I just watched something that resonated with me on a level through David and Corey that I was just like, I respond to things that resonate with it just resonates with me. And when something resonates with you as truth, it feels like home. That's the only way I can describe it. It feels like home when something just hits me right. And I've just been learning in the past, I've always been in tune to people's needs and their hearts. I have always, when people are struggling, they need somebody to talk to, those kinds of things. It is like anything else that's going on around me, I can literally shut it off and I am just completely focused on that person. What can I do? Like, speak to me, because I can help you find truths that you may not see. I don't know. It's my gift from God. That's what I do. And the last few years, it's been kind of it's been a little chaotic within, just because of the abilities that I have. I'm intuitive, and I'm an empath, and not quite understanding what that is. And I think Source has been kind of kicking my ass and going, you need to wake up to the gifts that you have, and not understanding them. And I'm understanding them more and more and going, wow. I mean, I can walk into a room, and if there is bad juju there, I can almost puke on the spot. Like, I'm just feeling just fine and walk into a room and I'm just immediately sick. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Or other people's energies when they're really excited or nervous, and I get really excited and nervous, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And just tapping into people, and I can, if somebody opens up to me about something, I can literally feel their wall of going, yeah, I kind of want to talk about this, but I'm still really, really guarded. So I can literally feel that wall on their heart of protection. So I can't go there. I can't go there to help. But I can literally feel when they trust me and they feel safe with me, I can feel that wall drop from their heart. And what comes through me is not necessarily me. It's something bigger than me. It's Source. And I can say things to them that they've never even thought of before, that just blows their minds. And they're like, wow, I never even thought of it that way. It's weird. It boggles me when it happens. And I'm just like, that's my gift. And I'm just here to help others find who they are, and what their walls and what their issues are that's keeping them from being the best of who they are. I don't know. I can see it when people are suffering. It's like I can sniff it out. I can feel you. And that's just what I do. If you open up to me, I can't help it. You open your heart, my heart will connect with you immediately. And it's like, what can I do for you? Let's walk through this. What I do. It's how I work. Yes, Robert, you're going to have to come on the show, because we're going to probably have to take that on a whole different route of David and Corey's information. of course he got booted off of Facebook. I got booted off of Facebook. And that was just me asking the sniffer. Thank you, Shepherd. I don't know what it is. I can just sense it. And I'm gonna have to look him up, Matt Belair. I'm gonna have to look him up. Yeah, when I started waking up and I started getting information on Facebook because I spent a lot of time on Facebook when we were in lockdown. So, and so I had a lot. I was paying attention. Like I wanted to know what in the hell was going on. What is going on? And all of this information that was resonating with me was kind of going against the narrative. So I started saving and saving and saving all this information within our Facebook world, just saving and just saving. I didn't really like share it openly on my page, anything like that. I didn't do anything like that. I had in Messenger, I had like private groups that invited me that we were sharing that kind of information with. And then it really, then somebody was like, you need to watch this thing. My brother actually brought to me, you need to watch this thing called Follow the Ball. And now that, you watch that, that's just going to take you right down a whole different route. And so I started discussing that kind of stuff with people. And it wasn't long. And then we were going to start this group that I was with, we were going to start our own YouTube podcast page. Like we were going to start questioning, like we're just regular everyday people in this world that have questions and shit's not adding up. So we just all kind of, you know, started that. And we literally set up all of our accounts. We were getting ready to do all of that. And all 3 of our accounts went down on Facebook. I didn't get put in jail. It literally, so I thought, wow, maybe I'm onto something. And that just triggered it. So I've never went back to Facebook. They can kiss it because I don't care. I'm not going to give them the satisfaction for that. So I went different routes and finding information and just this more censoring and more censoring and more censoring. I'm not going to give any of those platforms my attention at all. All right. Robert, up late researching. That's what I do. I didn't get to do a lot of researching last night because I was so beat when I got home. And, you know, it's kind of a mental game as well at my job. And it was insanity. I was so busy. I bet you I ran 10 miles yesterday. But I did very well. It was a beautiful night. People were wonderful. I don't think I had any creeps in the crowd. It was fantastic. So, yes. If any of you haven't, I'm gonna have to learn to put links into this stuff just so that you guys can see some of the things that Robert and I are talking about. When he says that's not what they want, or this is what they want, you know, kind of thing. I think all of this is so much bigger than we can even wrap our sweet little human brains around. I really do, and it just resonated with me, and just going, now if that's really what's going on, holy smokes. Yeah. If not, it's entertaining as hell. It's super duper entertaining. And that's me kind of being that kind of person too. Like, oh, don't step outside of the box. Not everybody's gonna, you know, maybe not everybody's gonna find the information that I find that resonates with me. Maybe not everybody's gonna, they're gonna be thinking, this bitch is crazy. She has gone off the rails. Right, Robert? Yeah, this bitch has lost her mind. What the hell? Because it's just so out there. And I'm just like, whoa, what? I think it's super cool information. And if that's the case, wow. We think we've been duped in just our everyday government, laws, go to the bank, go to work, our sweet little worlds that we live in. We've been duped on that level, but wow, if it goes where that goes, Robert, holy shit, it's insanity. Brilliance. And I can't, as Mike would say, confirm or deny. I just follow my intuition and what resonates with me, because I can feel it. If it doesn't resonate, there's a block there. There's a I don't know. But when it resonates with me, I have to listen to that and learn more about it and figure it out. So I think, Mr. Robert, you and I, it could be just you and me talking and nobody else listening. But I think it would be a very interesting conversation. I think it would be brilliant. So you're welcome to come play along anytime. And if you want to do that privately, we can set all that up. We totally can. No, I find it super interesting. Satan is the master of deception. And that is Carolyn, I'm late. What are we talking about here? I don't know how to. I'm talking about things that resonate with me, information that resonates with me on a soulful level. Shepard, I have heard a little bit about troops being deployed to DC. I think there's a lot going on that we're all talking about this, and maybe that's the information that they're just giving us so that that's what we're talking about, and we're really not paying attention exactly to what's going on. And people are waking up. I can see it. I can vibrationally feel it, that we are winning. I can feel that for sure. Think about Oh, Shepard, now that's an interesting thought. When I look up at the sky these days, I think about that blue ceiling in Las Vegas. Are we in a dome? Kind of makes you think of what was that Jim Carrey movie? Oh, what was it? It'll come to me. And yes, Robert, I do have your phone number. I do. I've wondered that myself, going, Truman, thank you. Yes. I do. I think that there are so many shows and films that has slowly been telling us, little bit by little bit, that it's a trip. There's just so much to think about. There's just so much to think about. Everything we've ever known and learned and thought of is kind of being brought into question. For me, anyways. I don't know about everybody else. Yeah, I find it super duper interesting. Yeah, I think we have a lot to learn, and I think it's slowly taking us to that space of mass awakening. We have to raise our consciousness. We have to raise our vibration. We have to raise our connection. Nothing we can change, but it's very interesting to think of. It is, I mean, my Lord. It's a good thing I don't smoke weed anymore. Can't imagine what kind of rabbit hole I'd go down if I was high. Though I do miss it. Yeah. Well, NDE, that is when my life changed and I was shown much of this 7 years ago. Spirit shows and the chills come down my head, and I tell people things I never thought of saying to them. It's a trip, isn't it? Isn't it a trip when you have that moment of connection with Source and you can feel it. You can just, it makes me happy. It makes me giddy. It makes me feel safe when I'm in that moment of connection. Yes. Yep. Service to others, not self. Yeah. I had to work on myself to be able to help others. And I think that's a very important task that we all need to take is we have to take care of ourselves internally and mentally and soulfully and take care of that, because when you got that straight, then you can push that towards others and help them through too. Love you too, Shepherd. You have a wonderful day. All right, guys, I don't want to just sit here and ramble on and on. I am sure you all have a lot to do. I am super tired and I have to go do it all over again today. So I'm tired. I don't want to just ramble on for days and days, but thank you all for being here with me and listening to my rambling on and on. I will do my best to get more information and figure out all this, because there's videos and stuff that I would like to share with you guys. I would like to show you guys, or at least to show you how to find them and see what you guys think, because I think some of this could make some good discussions. And so I will do that today as I'm taking it easy before I have to go and get my ass handed to me again today. So I love all of you. Thank you all for being here with me and communicating with me, and much love. We got this. Keep raising our vibrations. Where we go one, we go all. And I am a firm believer of that. And I love all of you. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Bye, guys.